So I'm Doug Stowe. I'm one of the founders here at ESSA, and this is my favorite spot at ESSA. This is a wood shop, and I just love this place, and it's just so much fun to watch students grow here and learn how to do new things. I want to demonstrate a little bit of the kind of thing that I teach my students in my classes. One of the things about art in general is one of the tools that you have if you're designing something is a tool called line. It's one of the principles and elements of design. But what happens when you see a line is your eye wants to follow it, and you want to become deeper into whatever you're seeing. And so one of the interesting things about wood is it also contains line in the form of grain. Now, this is an example box I'll show you. You see these lines right here. These are lines of texture. And these lines of texture were formed many years ago when this board was sawn. And these are the lines left by a giant saw blade as the wood was passed through, cutting it into boards. So line can be something that engages you. This is a line that involves texture, so you can feel the line. But line is also a part of wood grain, and so if you look at the corners of a box, you can tell things about it. For example, you can see that this corner and this corner are matched to each other. And this corner, you can see where the grain follows around. And you can see the same thing over here where the grain follows around. Well, grain and line are the same thing. And what you can either pay attention to grain, pay attention to line, or you can ignore it. But one of the signs that someone was paying attention is when you see that the line is deliberately used to create a sense of unity in the object. So this is called a four-corner match, and this is called a three-corner match. And you can see that this piece right here and this piece right here the grain doesn't line up. That's because this is only a three-corner match. But if you look at this corner here, and this corner here, you see there's a continuity of grain. And the continuity of grain just simply tells someone that I was paying attention. And things have greater value when you can see that someone was paying attention, because things that are done haphazardly or without care tend to not be as beautiful and not as engaging. So I want to show you a little bit about wood grain. And this is a piece of ash, and it's matched. These were cut at the same time from one another. So if you look at it like this was a board, and you can see the lines of grain are passing through there. And I cut it right down the middle and opened it up like that. And you can see how the grain is not a perfect match because there was some material removed from in between. You can see here as well, it won't be a perfect match. I can change it a little bit by just simply shifting things, but probably not that much. But some woodworkers have heard of what's called a book match, and that's where you just open a book and it's the same on both sides, right? So this technique is very similar to book matching. But it's a way of using line effectively in a box. So that's to make a four-corner match, and this piece of wood here is for a three-corner match. Any questions so far? So I'm going to do my work on this table saw where I've set the blade at a 45-degree angle. That's at a 45-degree angle. But first, I have to make sure that this edge and this edge are perfectly, I'll make sure that this edge and this edge are perfectly parallel to each other. So I'm going to do that on this other table saw. Okay, I'm not going to use a dust collector, right?
Yeah.
If it's okay to not use it just because it's so loud.
Okay.
That sounded rather crazy, that last one. Why did that sound different?
A little vibration. I think it might be a little, yeah, it has a little warp to it, so it wasn't sitting down completely flat. Okay. Now, so I want to keep track of these pieces and how they go together. So I'm just going to make a squiggle line down through them like that. And I'm going to do the same thing to this other piece. I could mark them 1, 2, 3, 4 if I wanted. Second piece using the spacer. Now let's see how I did. So I put those back together just the way they came apart. And I'm going to take a piece of tape and put that tape at each little intersection. the start of a box. So next I want to do a four-corner match, and it's pretty much the same thing. I have to alternate cuts using the spacer block. So I have this match, and at this other end, I have that match. They won't be perfect because that's a four-corner match. You get two perfect corners and two almost perfect. So let me put that one back together. Now this is where I really miss live classes at ESSA, because usually at this point I get a round of applause. Thank you very much. I want to urge you to participate in hands-on ESSA this year and check out the postcards that are for sale. I've got a couple of them here. These I call postcards on edge. They're made of wood, they're laminated, several layers of veneer, and they're postmarked at our very own Eureka Springs post office. When I take these into the post office, they never come out just quite right, and so it's part of, our things never come out quite right, so they stamp them and you just take what you get, right? But this is maple on one side, curly maple on one side and bird's eye on the other. And this one is made completely with lace wood, with the exception of the interior veneers. So there you go, bid high.